Triples here in the second quarter.
Absolutely blown the roof off.
But playing at UConn, she is used to all of this. Oh,
That's woken up this crowd here a little bit.
You've seen Caitlin Clark light up the scoreboard, but did you know she's making her teammates feel bad? Not in the way you might think. One Fever player spilled the beans, saying Clark's skills in an unexpected area are putting them to shame. What could it be? Clark's intensity on the court is unmatched, but off the court, that's where things get interesting. Her teammates are feeling the heat, and not in the way you'd expect. What surprising skill is making the Fever squad question their own abilities? You might think it's all about her three-point shooting or her flashy assists, but no, it's something entirely different that's got the Fever locker room buzzing. Katie Lou Samuelson dropped a bombshell when she said, "Caitlin makes everyone feel bad that we're not as good at baseball as she is." Yeah, you heard that right, baseball. It's not just her skills on the hardwood that are turning heads. Clark's all-around athleticism is setting a new bar for the entire team. And let's be real, it's not always easy being the teammate who makes everyone else look average. But here's the thing about Clark, her competitive fire doesn't just stop at practice. This rookie is bringing that same intensity to every single game, and it's not always pretty. We're talking technical fouls, heated exchanges with opponents, and even some frustration with the refs. Remember that game against the Seattle Storm? Clark drained a deep three and then got right in Victoria Vivian's face. It was a moment that showed everyone watching that this rookie isn't here to make friends. She's here to win. And win she does, but at what cost? Clark's fifth technical of the season came after she slammed the stanchion following a missed shot. It's the kind of raw emotion that can light a fire under a team or burn the whole house down. Clark isn't shy about voicing her frustrations either. After a particularly physical game, she didn't mince words. "I feel like I'm getting hammered."
Absolutely blown the roof off.
but playing at UConn, she is used to all of this. Oh,
now. And some extracurricular as Clark's knocked down a couple of deep.
Caitlin Clark, rookie on rookie crime right there in Mule's face.
She held Caitlin 10 points below her.
It's the kind of statement that puts pressure on her teammates to step up their game and protect their star player. But here's where it gets tricky. Clark's drive to be the best is pushing her teammates to new heights. There's no denying that when she's on fire, the whole team feels invincible. But that same competitive spirit, it's creating some tension behind the scenes. Think about it. You've got a rookie who's not just outplaying veterans, but outshining them in other sports too. It's enough to make anyone feel a little insecure. And when that rookie is also calling out opponents and officials, it puts the whole team in a tough spot. Some of Clark's teammates are thriving under the pressure, rising to meet her level of play. Others, they're struggling to find their place in the Clark-centric offense. It's a delicate balance, and the Fever are walking a tightrope. The question on everyone's mind is, can Clark's competitive fire forge a stronger team, or will it burn bridges before the season even gets going? Her talent is undeniable, but talent alone doesn't win championships. What's clear is that Clark isn't going to change who she is. Her intensity, her drive, her willingness to push boundaries. It's all part of the package that made her the #1 pick. The Fever knew what they were getting, but knowing and experiencing are two very different things. From college superstar to WNBA rookie, Clark's journey isn't what anyone expected. You think you know the challenges she's facing? Think again. There's one hurdle that's left even her teammates scratching their heads. Let's talk about the Indiana Fever's rough start. A 1-8 record isn't exactly the dream debut Clark or her fans imagined. But it's not just about the scoreboard. Clark's finding out that life in the pros comes with a whole new set of rules, both on and off the court. Remember those smooth charter flights in college? Well, those days are long gone. Now Clark's dealing with commercial travel, just like the rest of us. That means less rest, more delays, and flying out a day early for games. It's a far cry from the VIP treatment she was used to, and it's taking its toll on the entire team. But wait, there's more. Clark's popularity isn't just filling seats, it's changing the way the Fever operate. We're talking increased security measures that have the team looking more like a presidential motorcade than a basketball squad. General Manager Lynn Dunn didn't mince words, saying, We're going to take all the precautions we can to not only make sure she's safe.
Triples here in the second quarter.
Victoria Vivian's an old Indiana Fever player.
It's a whole new world for Clark, and she's not afraid to speak her mind about it. After a particularly physical game, she let loose. "I feel like I'm getting hammered." It's the kind of frustration you'd expect from a veteran, not a rookie. But then again, Clark's no ordinary rookie. You might be wondering how all this is affecting team dynamics. Well, it's complicated. Clark's competitive fire is lighting a spark under her teammates, but it's also turning up the heat in ways they didn't expect. Katie Lou Samuelson dropped a bombshell when she said, "Caitlin makes everyone feel bad that we're not as good at baseball as she is." Yeah, you read that right, baseball. It's not just her basketball skills that are off the charts. Clark's all-around athleticism is setting a new standard for the entire team. And let's be honest, it's not always easy being the teammate who makes everyone else look average. But here's where things get interesting. Despite the rocky start, the Fever aren't throwing in the towel. In fact, they're starting to find their rhythm. Clark's dedication to improvement is infectious, and her ability to elevate her teammates' play is beginning to show on the court. It's like watching a puzzle come together in real time. Each game, each practice, Clark and her teammates are figuring out how to mesh their styles. They're learning to harness that competitive fire without letting it burn the whole house down. The Fever's defense might still be allowing a league-worst 91.2 points per game, but there are signs of progress. Clark's not just scoring, she's starting to trust her teammates, distributing the ball and creating opportunities for others to shine. Just when you thought you had Clark figured out, she's flipping the script. There's a reason her teammates are calling her a generational player. And it's not just about her scoring ability. What's the real game changer that's got the Fever buzzing? It's not her crossover. It's not her deep threes. It's Clark's ability to make everyone around her better. We're talking about a rookie who's transforming doubters into believers, one assist at a time. Remember when we said Clark was causing waves in the Fever locker room? Well, those waves are turning into a tidal wave of positivity. Her teammates aren't just impressed, they're inspired. Grace Berger, one of Clark's fellow rookies, dropped some serious praise. She called Clark a generational player. But it's not just empty hype. Berger broke it down, saying, "What makes her so hard to guard is that you have to guard her as soon as she crosses half court. That's the kind of threat that opens up the entire court for everyone else." But Clark isn't just making life easier for her teammates on offense. She's pushing them to be better defenders too. When you're practicing against someone who can pull up from anywhere, you've got no choice but to step up your game. And step up they have. The Fever might still be finding their footing, but there's a new energy in their play. It's like Clark's confidence is contagious. Suddenly, everyone's playing with a little more swagger. Lexi Hull, another Fever teammate, couldn't help but gush about Clark's impact. "The shots she makes, the plays she makes are pretty incredible," Hull said. But it's not just about the highlight reel moments. It's about how Clark's presence is elevating everyone's game. Think about it. When you've got a player who can draw double teams from half court, it creates space for everyone else. Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, the Fever's established stars, are finding new life with Clark on the court. It's like having a supercharged playmaker who can score and distribute with equal skill. But here's where Clark's real magic comes in. She's not just making her teammates better players, she's making them believe they can be great. It's one thing to have talent, it's another to inspire others to reach for their own greatness. Clark's passion for the game is infectious. Remember how we talked about her competitive fire? Well, that fire is spreading. Her teammates are starting to play with the same intensity, the same joy that Clark brings to every game. It's not always smooth sailing. Clark's still learning the ropes of the pro game, but even her mistakes are teaching moments for the team. They're learning how to play off her strengths, how to cover for her when she's double teamed, how to thrive in the chaos she creates on the court. And let's not forget, Clark's still a rookie. She's got room to grow, to refine her game. If she's having this kind of impact now, imagine what she'll be capable of with a full season under her belt. The Fever might not be topping the standings yet, but there's a sense that something special is brewing. Clark's teammates aren't just playing alongside her, they're becoming believers in what this team can achieve. So the next time you watch a Fever game, don't just focus on Clark's stat line. Watch how her teammates move without the ball, how they're learning to anticipate her passes, how they're playing with a new confidence. That's the real Clark effect, turning a team of individuals into a cohesive unit with championship dreams. You might think Caitlin Clark's story is all about controversy, but here's the thing. She's changing the game in ways no one saw coming. Sure, she's got that fiery spirit that lands her in hot water sometimes, but it's that same passion that's lighting up the entire Fever squad. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's on a mission. "I want young girls to know that you can play with joy and passion," she says.
That's woken up this crowd here a little bit. Caitlin Clark asking for the crowd to its feet. They oblige. That one, by the way, was a 32-footer. So since we've run that graphic.
And boy, is she delivering on that promise. Every game, every assist, every long-range three, it's all inspiring a new generation of ballers. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not just changing the Fever, she's shaking up the whole WNBA. Her offensive skills, they're rewriting the playbook. Long-range shooting, creating plays. Clark's setting a new standard. The future of women's basketball, it's looking a whole lot like Caitlin Clark.